Good morning, Boker Tov. It's wonderful to be here with you this morning on this beautiful Tuesday morning. I hope this day is off to a good start for you, that you got some good rest. It's good to see people starting to come in. Please do feel free to leave a greeting for the rest of us as we gather here together, as it's almost time for us to begin our journey together. Good morning, Sandra. Wonderful to see you here this morning. Good morning, Sean. Boker Tov to each of you on this beautiful Tuesday morning where I have a poem to share from writer Rich Orloff. Good morning, Deborah. And to each of us, to all of us, Boker Tov, Boker O. Welcome to Boker Tov from Temple Sinai, Temple Sinai Congregation of Toronto's daily opportunity to connect, to reflect, and to remember. Good morning, Joni and Fern and Lance and Lori, to each of you and to all of you on this beautiful Tuesday morning. I hope that today is a day of significance and meaning and insight for each of us and for all of us, and that beautiful things happen. Good morning, Gloria. And let's begin together this morning. Good morning, Alan. And let's start as we do with gratitude, with an awareness and appreciation for waking up this morning. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher yetzar et ha'adam bechokma, uברא בו נקבים נקבים, חלולים חלולים, גלוי וידוע לפני כיסא כבודך, שאם ייפתח אחד מהם, או ייסתם אחד מהם, אי אפשר להתקיים ולעמוד לפניך. ברוך אתה אדוני, רופא כל בשר ומפליא לעשות. Blessed eternal God, creator of the universe, you have fashioned our bodies with wisdom, creating within us a finely balanced network. To stand before you in prayer is itself a fragile miracle. Eternal God, we praise you as the healer of body and spirit. The soul that you have given me, O God, is a pure one. You have created and formed it, breathed it into me, and within me you sustain it. So long as my soul is within me, I will give thanks to you, eternal my God and God of my ancestors, source of all creation, sovereign of all souls. We praise you, eternal God, in whose hand is the power of all life and the spirit of all flesh. And now please join me, La'asok v'divrei Torah, to commit to Torah study and learning. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו לעסוק בדברי תורה. וערב נא אדוני אלוהינו את דברי תורתך בפינו ובפי עמך בית ישראל, ונהיה אנחנו וצאצאינו וצאצאי עמך בית ישראל, כולנו יודעי שמך ולומדי תורתך לשמה. ברוך אתה אדוני המלמד תורה לעמו ישראל. אלו דברים שאין להם שיעור. These are the obligations whose value cannot be measured. They nourish us in this world and help us to create the world to come. Kibud avaim, to honor fathers and mothers. Ugmilut chasadim, to perform acts of love and kindness. Bashkamat bet midrash shacharit v'yarovit, to attend the house of study morning and evening. V'achnasat ochim, to welcome the stranger. Uvikul cholim, to visit the sick. V'achnasat kala, to provide for brides and grooms. Ulvayad hamet, to keep faith with the dead. V'yun tefillah, to pray with sincerity. B'ava'at shalom ben adam lechavero, to make peace when there is strife. B'talmud Torah keneged kulam, and the study of Torah is equal to them all. I invite you to join me in the Birchot HaShachar, in the morning blessings today, blessings that begin with a sense of physical and moral awakening, that continue with our sense of how we understand ourselves as a human being and as a Jew, and then about the actions that should flow from that, including the top blessing and the first blessing on the next page, Matir Asurim, to be part of setting free the captive. This is so unfortunately a practical mitzvah in our world. And so while we recite the blessings, starting entirely in Hebrew and then half Hebrew and half English and alternating, the blessing for setting free the captives will recite both ways in an act of support, an act of care, an act of rage at a world that has said that this can be done to humans and to our people more than other humans. Please join me in these words of blessing. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lesechvi vina להבחין ben yom uben laila. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, you have created me in the divine image. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asani ben chorin. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, you have made me a Jew. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asa li kol tzorki. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, you open the eyes of the blind. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam malbish aromim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, you release those who are held captive. And again, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam matir asurim. Hebrew, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam zokef kefufim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, you maintain the balance of land and sea. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamechin mitzadei gaver. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, you surround Israel with strength. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, oter Yisrael b'tifara. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, you give strength to the weary. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hama'avir she'ena me'enai, utnuma me'afapai. And having recited Chai Brachot, 18 blessings this morning, simple blessings, hints at our ability, our desire to every day recite 100 blessings. That's a challenge Jewish tradition puts in front of us, whether those blessings come from praying formal prayers 3 times a day, as well as the blessing after the meal and other blessings, or just for us looking around ourselves every day and saying, what are those mea brachot? Ma Adonai Elohecha shoel mimecha. What is it that God asks of us? 100 recognitions of the miracle of life. Please join us in Shema Yisrael, where we bear witness to this miracle. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. ויאמר אדוני אל משה לאמור, דבר אל בני ישראל ואמרת עליהם, ויעשו להם ציצית על כנפי בגדיהם לדורותם, ונתנו על ציצית הכנף פתיל תכלת. והיה לכם לציצית, וראיתם אותו. וזכרתם את כל מצוות אדוני, ועשיתם אותם, ולא תטורו אחרי לבבכם, ואחרי עיניכם, אשר אתם זונים אחריהם. למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם, אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. It's important as we look out in our world to be truthful, not merely truthful in a factual way, but truthful in an emotional way as well. And I mentioned earlier when talking about the hostages and the larger world circumstances in which we live, the kind of anger that really, I think, honestly needs to be present with us. Not that it should be unmanaged, but at the same time, all feelings are real. And for us to be healthy and deal properly with our world, they need to be acknowledged or even welcomed for the sacred purposes they may have. So, toward that end, is a poem to share today. I want to share a poem, a writer and poet and friend Rich Orloff shared with his list this week that I think speaks to this. It's entitled The Sacred Gift of Rage. Let me learn how to use the sacred gift of rage, how to use it skillfully, not to injure or destroy, but in service of causes needing help, in jungles that need a machete to cut through thick growth, for the fragile who need protection, for the unheard who need another voice. Let me not be afraid of my fire. Let me appreciate its source. This energy you have placed inside us is a tool not given to us by accident. Use it wisely, I hear. Do not confuse it with hostility or hate. Do not waste it on petty matters, but do not shy from its awesome power. Let passion flow through me and not be blocked by fear or by voices who try to convince me that rage is inherently wrong. Let the world know that I'm willing to use rage as needed. Let me embrace my warrior spirit and treasure this divine weapon. I really appreciate the courage in Rich's writing here, in him doing something that especially those of us in historically abused communities, those experiencing generational trauma, as well as current challenges, we tend toward rejecting rage or having it overwhelm us. And by making it sacred, sacred in our tradition really means something that is accessed in a powerful and yet in a moral way. And I think that that's what Rich is suggesting here, especially the line when it says use it wisely, I hear. When I first read the poem, I thought that that meant those who sort of try to temper us or tamp us down when we are filled with rage. But I think it's more God saying it's a gift to have the ability to emote, including rage, but use it in a way where it doesn't get in the way of doing the good it can do. One more time, as we do, with a moment of silence with the poem afterward, The Sacred Gift of Rage by Rich Orloff. Let me learn how to use the sacred gift of rage, how to use it skillfully, not to injure or destroy, but in service of causes needing help, in jungles that need a machete to cut through thick growth, for the fragile who need protection, for the unheard who need another voice. Let me not be afraid of my fire. Let me appreciate its source. This energy you have placed inside us is a tool not given to us by accident. Use it wisely, I hear. Do not confuse it with hostility or hate. Do not waste it on petty matters, but do not shy from its awesome power. Let passion flow through me and not be blocked by fear or by voices who try to convince me that rage is inherently wrong. Let the world know that I'm willing to use rage as needed. Let me embrace my warrior spirit and treasure this divine weapon. I find the way his words come together both challenging and inspiring. It's one of the things I appreciate in so many of his poems. I find at least one phrase that I react to that way. Um, Divine rage has its purposes in many places in the world, including on behalf of those whose children must go fight, must stand in IDF uniforms and risk their very existence for the security of Jews in the state of Israel, while tens of thousands of Israelis benefit from the state and refuse to serve. So for all those who have the duty, the courage, the moral certainty to put on the uniform and enter morally uncertain circumstances, for all of them and for hopes that their commitment and their action, which makes us more safe every day, might make them safe and make eventually our world somehow more safe. We turn to these words of prayer. מי שברך אבותינו אברהם, יצחק ויעקב, ואמותינו שרה, רבקה, לאה ורחל, הוא יברך את חיילי צבא ההגנה לישראל, ושאר מגיני עמנו העומדים על משמרתם. ישמרם הקדוש ברוך הוא, ויצילם מכל צרה וצוקה, ומכל נגע ומחלה, ישלח ברכה בכל מעשה ידיהם, ויקוים בהם הכתוב, וכיתתו חרבותיהם לעתים, וחניתותיהם למזמרות, לא יישאו גוי גוי חרב, ולא ילמדון עוד מלחמה, וישבו איש תחת גפנו, ותחת תאנתו, ואין מחריד, ונאמר, Amen. May the one who blessed our ancestors bless the soldiers of the IDF and all who stand on guard for us. May the Holy One guard them against all difficulty and distress, injury and illness. May all of their actions bring blessing, fulfilling the prophet's words. Let them beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Let nation not lift up sword against nation, and may they learn war no more. May all sit under a vine or fig tree, with none to make them afraid, and together we say, Amen. Please join me now in this prayer for healing. For those in our family, in our circle of friends, those who need strength and healing, including those who are injured or ill or isolated or unwell, those who are in the midst of a course of recovery, those who are isolated by their illness, by injury, by age, and likewise, those who are held, those who are forcibly isolated, the hostages, for each of them, for all of them, for the names given to me and given to Temple, the names placed in the chat in this and other services, for all in need, we turn to these words of refuah. מי שברך אבותינו אברהם, יצחק ויעקב, ואמותינו שרה, רבקה, לאה ורחל, הוא ירפא את כל מכותינו. יהי רצון מלפניך אדוני אלוהינו להחלימם ולרפאותם, וישלח לנו מהרה רפואה שלמה ועטרת שלום, ונאמר Amen. May the one who blessed our ancestors bless and heal all who suffer. May it be the divine will to provide healing and strength. Reveal to us the holiness of life, the wholeness of shalom, and together we say, Amen. I appreciate the opportunity, I truly do, for us to connect and reflect and remember each day. It is time for memory now, and so I am honored to be part of us taking this moment now and thinking about those who came before us, whether those who died in recent days and weeks, those who died at the season in years past, or those whom we've taken into our hearts with our own. During the last 30 days, the period of Shloshim, we extend our condolences to the families of Bruce Altshuler, Joan Mishkin-Skegan, Barbara Levy, Heather McDermott, Mel Kerner, Cantor Benny Meisner, and we remember all victims of terror and war, including Nastia Bolek, Aviva Tzili, Bella Ashkenazi, Daisy Yitzhaki, Desi Bello, Efrat Sarenga, Etan Zaks, Hala Khatib, Ilya Peshkorov, Konstantin Totvich, Manar Al-Qasim Abu Al-Hija Khatib, Manar Diab Khatib, Maria Peshkorova, Meir Vaknin, Michael Nachum, Michael Zaks, Naomi Sha'anan, Noah Boguslavsky, Ofra Kedar, Yelena Peshkarova, Shada Khatib, Shalev Zvuluni, Yaakov Bello, Yvette Shmilovich, Yonatan Samurano. And we add to those names those whose lives have been lost fighting in Gaza for the IDF in these last 30 days. Our hearts go out to the families of Alon Davidov, Nave Leshem, Niv Radia, Ronel Ben Moshe, Ronan Shapiro, Shachar Manoav, Shai Levinson, Shoam Menachem, Stav Halfon, Rei Beran, Tal Movshovitz, Mayan Baruch Perlstein, Shlomo Yakir Shrem, Yaniv Michalovich, Yisrael Natan Rosenfeld, Yuli Faktor, Benjamin Asulin, Matan Shai Yashinovsky, Avraham Azulai, Vladimir Loza. And on Yahrzeit, on the anniversary of their deaths, on this 26th day of Tammuz, the 22nd of July, 2025. We honor the life and legacy on Yahrzeit of Nathan Arbuck, Sue Bloom, Pearl Friedland, Shepsy Goldenberg, Philip Goldman, Daniel Creever, Albert Levovitz, Sidney Marks, Isaac Schenken, David Schwemar, Libby Stoll, Ralph Strasberg, Asher Waldman. Zichronam Livracha, may their memories be a blessing to us. Our griefs and our sympathies are mingled as we turn together to words sanctified by memory, words glorified by hope, joining together in the words of Kaddish Yatom. יתגדל ויתקדש שמה רבה, בעלמא דברה חירותה וימליך מלכותה, בחייכון וביומכון, ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב אמרו, אמן. יהא שמה רבה מבורך לעולם ולעולמי עלמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא. ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו. לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תשבחתה ונחמתה, תמירן בעלמה ואמור אמן. יהא שלמה רבה מן שמיה וחיים, עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמור אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום, עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמור אמן. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and bring comfort and strength to all who remember. And together we say, Amen. Well, Boker Tov, Boker O. I hope that today is a wonderful, a beautiful day for each of you and all of you. Thank you, Alan. We'll miss you. I'll be away for a bit now during some summertime away as well. But to one and all, Boker Tov, and make each day a good one.